What? Okay. Jesus, hello. Not to have attitude here, and that's the part that's so hard. There are going to be caves, belief and identity, before you can ever have that. Hello and welcome in. Lately, I have been talking a lot about goals and dreams and future. And I wanted to share with you today the 3 ways that I have kept those promises in my heart and those dreams alive, even when going through hard things or going through long periods of waiting for those promises to come to pass. These 3 ways that I'm going to share with you help to keep those embedded in my heart, my mind, and my spirit. I'm going to share those 3 ways with you and actually show you them tangibly, to give you some inspiration for yourself. But first, I'm going to give you some background as to why it's so important to keep these things top of mind. Now, the Bible supports this 100%. There's a story about these blind men in the Bible who wanted to be healed, and they were crying out for Jesus as Jesus was walking by. And the people were telling them to be quiet. I think they didn't want them to bug Jesus, but people will tell you to be quiet. People will tell you to stop asking for what you want. Don't stop. Because the story goes on to say that Jesus heard them calling out to him, and he told them to come to him. And he said to them, "What do you want me to do for you?" What? Okay. Jesus, hello. Not to have attitude here, but they're blind. Clearly, they want to be healed from being blind. But Jesus wanted to know that they knew to ask for what it was that they wanted. I truly believe he wasn't going to give it to them unless they asked for it. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the doors will be opened to you. So they said to him, "Well, we're blind. We want to see." And so he was moved with compassion and he healed them. If they had not have asked to be healed of their blindness, I truly believe that Jesus would not have healed them because they didn't ask. So it's important to know what you want, to know what you need, and to ask for it. Now, we all know the story of David and Goliath. Everybody knows that story. But do we know the rest of the story? David was anointed to be king as a teenager, and he didn't become king until he was like 30 years old. So what happened in all that other time? First of all, his own father didn't believe that he would be the one anointed. When Samuel came to anoint one of the brothers, David's father did not even ask David to come in. And Samuel went through all the brothers and he said, "Do you have any other sons? Because none of these men are anointed to be king." And David's father said, "Yeah, but it's David. He's out in the fields. He's just a shepherd boy. He's just a scrawny teenager. I mean, it's not going to be him." But Samuel said, "Go get David." And so David came, and David was anointed as king as a teenager, 15, 16, 17 years old, somewhere around there. And then David didn't go to being king right away. He went back out to the sheep. He went back out to shepherd them. Can you imagine being anointed to be the king of Israel and then being like, "Okay, go back to your field with the sheep"? Not prestigious at all. And then it was several years until David killed Goliath, and he got a little bit of fame then. People knew who he was. He started working in the palace as a musician and a warrior, but then he started to get too good, and the king did not like it, and so he tried to kill David. He was jealous. Again, that's another thing that's going to happen, is that as you grow into the dream and into the promise for your life, there are going to be people who try and tear you down, who try and tarnish your name, who try and drag you through the mud, lie about you, backstab you, because they're jealous and it rubs them the wrong way. So David fled for his life and he ended up in a cave. And he was in the cave for many years. He did end up leading the outcasts during that time. And then finally, like this is years and years and years from the time he was anointed to the time that he became king. Finally, Saul passed away and David became king. And even his kingship was in steps. First, he was the king of Judah, then he was the king of Israel. You may have a promise in your heart from the Lord. You may have this dream for your life and you're so focused on it and excited about it. And when it comes to you, you're like, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have this business, or I'm going to work with these kinds of people in my life, or I'm going to have this kind of family and I'm going to have a home that's beautiful and I'm going to be an amazing hostess and I'm going to bring people in and I'm going to have influence. That's very, very possible and very well could be the promise that's in your heart. I fully and completely stand by you in that vision and dream, whatever that may be for you. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. And that's the part that's so hard. There are going to be caves. There is going to be opposition, people trying to tear you down. There's going to be that cave that's like a cocoon, and that's where God prepares you. It's like a cocoon for a butterfly. It's lonely, it's dark, just like the cave that David was in, but it's the time where God prepares you to hold that blessing of the promise. And without that, if you just walked right into the promise, you would not be ready. And it would probably come crashing down around you if it came too quickly. So although the process is not that fun, it doesn't mean it's not necessary, because it is. But these are the times that are extremely important to be able to hold on to that promise and to hold on to that dream life and to see it so clearly that you don't question it. You will have days where you question a little bit, but then you'll come right back and think, no, I'm holding on to this promise because this is the promise that's in my heart. This is the dream life that I want, and I'm going to come back to this. And that's why the ways that I'm going to show you to hold on to your dream so tightly, where you can see it so clearly, is incredibly important. Because without it, you might give up. In fact, you probably will. You might give up that dream. And so many people quit in the cave years, in the cocoon. They give up. They think, nah, this is too hard. I'm not doing it. And they go back to a life that's middle ground, average, easy. And they never fulfill their purpose or get to their dreams because this middle part is so hard. The cave is so dark and sometimes very lonely, with people out to destroy you. And I don't think we talk about this enough, because when I've come to this part too in life, I thought, what am I doing wrong? No, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're being prepared for what's coming. Once you get to a point where you're like, I don't rely on these people or these things for what I need, for validation, for income, for any of these things, once you fully can rely on God for that stuff, then God can trust you. And God can trust that once you're elevated into that dream life, you can hold that dream and not fall the moment opposition comes, or the moment things don't go the right way, or the moment you have to turn and walk away from someone's opinion or friendship or influence or money, because you've created that foundation where you rely fully on God instead of people and situations. And only the cave can teach you that. God's not opposed to science. God created science. And there's science behind this as well. Our brains have pathways. And the more that you repeat something, whether it's out loud or even just a thought, or someone else says it to you, or things you watch or listen to, the more that's repeated, the more you're going to believe it. It's like if there's a field of tall grass and you want to get to the other side. And the first time you go through that, it is hard because the grass is so tall and there's so much opposition. And then when you walk back, There's a little bit of a pathway-ish, but not really. It's still hard to get through. But the more that you walk back and forth on that same path, the more it becomes easier and easier. And the grass gets patted down and there is a clear pathway. And then that pathway turns into a highway where it flows easily and there's no opposition. There's nothing stopping that thought or belief anymore. But that comes by repetition. I never understood how to get out of the negative thoughts that I was in, the unhealed place I was in, the thoughts that nothing ever good happens to me and I don't have enough money for this, and just so frustrating. Like, why does this always happen to me? Even saying, why does this always happen to me, is a belief that this always happens, that it's always negative. I don't say that stuff anymore. I won't even say I can't afford that. I will say something like, I don't want to allot my finances towards that right now, because that is truth, but that also honors my belief that I will buy that eventually, or I will take that trip eventually. So the repetition of your dreams is so important. And I'm not talking about once a week or once a month or here and there thinking, oh, it would be so nice if blah, blah, blah. That is not enough. We are constantly bombarded with negativity in this world and in this life. So you need to combat that with more faith, with more dreams, with more repetition than you think is even necessary. So the more that those pathways get easy and the highway that you've created, the neural pathway that you've created in your brain, which is literally scientific, which is not only in your heart and your ideas, and it's actually physical in your brain, these belief pathways. You think that your dreams are normal, possible, and literally inevitable because they're so ingrained in your brain at that point. It even rewires what you think you deserve. We've had a lot of beliefs over our lives from things people have said, whether it was family or friends or kids at school, that made you feel like you didn't deserve a beautiful life, or that you weren't good enough or smart enough or interesting enough or beautiful enough. So you need to rewire that so that you do believe it. And it is possible to believe it. When I hear people saying things like, oh, I could never do that. No, you're right. You're right. You can never do it as long as you keep saying and believing that. You are not going to jump from I could never have that to having it without that literal pathway of belief becoming a real belief. You're not going to have it. There's a saying that whether you believe you can or you can't, you're correct. Because if you believe you can, then you can and you will. But if you believe you cannot, you will not. You have to embody that belief and identity before you can ever have that. So now let's get into the 3 ways that I constantly bombard my own mind and heart and spirit with my dream life to keep up my belief, to keep up my spirit, to create those neural pathways in my brain and that create guidance towards this dream life. First and foremost, you need to write down what you want. Sit down and figure out every area of your life, what you want and how you want it to look in great detail. Then these are the ways I embed these into my belief system. The first way is a dream book. Now, some people do vision boards, and that is totally fine. I like the dream book because I am a very tangible person. I like to sit down with the book and literally turn the pages and read what I've written. So the dream book is like a vision board, but it's in a book form. And I also like it because it's portable. If I go away somewhere, I can still bring it. In Habakkuk, in the Bible, it says, write your vision down on tablets so he who reads it, you can run with it. And you can only run with it if you believe it. So these are a few pages right here of my dream book. It makes me happy to look at. Yes, it took time to create, but it was so worth it. So that was the dream book. The second way is the audio. Now, I've never heard anyone else say to do this. I came up with this because I was going out for walks for 2 years, every day, for about an hour, on my walks, through my beautiful neighborhood. I would listen to my goals in my own voice. So I sat down one time and I recorded everything that was in my goal book, all of the visions for my life, all of the details, all of the income, the abundance, how I want my family to look, how I want my relationship with my husband to be, what I want in a husband, how I want my relationship with God to be, my connection to my community, where I want to live, my home, all of it. And I recorded all of it in detail into about an hour audio. So when I would go for a walk, I'd put my earbuds in my phone, and then I would listen to the audio. Now, I just did it in the little recording voice note app that is on an iPhone. I'm sure that all Androids have it too. And the nice thing about it is that you can play it with your phone on lock. So you don't have to have your phone open to listen to this while you're out for a walk, or while you're driving, or whatever you're doing. This is a wonderful way, if you're a super busy person, to combine two habits: working out, driving, cooking, doing your dishes. Whatever you're doing, you can listen to this audio at the same time, and you are creating those neural pathways by listening to it. And I think there's something so powerful about hearing your dream life in your own voice. Truly powerful. You know that it's coming from you. You know that it's coming from within. You know that you have that power to create that life with the help of heavenly favor. And it becomes an incredibly powerful tool. This is literally how I came to believe in my dream life, listening to the audio. That was the strongest one for me because I habit stacked. I did it at the same time I was going out for my walks. And then about a year ago, I heard about mind movies and I was like, what's that? This is the third way, and I'm going to tell you about it. Now, a mind movie is a little video that you put together yourself on your phone or your computer. And it is a combination of photos, little video clips, affirmations, and inspirational music that create this video of your dream life. Now, I have a tutorial for exactly how to do this, and it is at the end of this video. So on the very end page of this video, I'm going to link the tutorial on how to create this mind movie in case you're interested in that. This gives you a beautiful visual movie. It's like watching a future home video of your life, of your dream life, the way that you want it. And it's so powerful because it moves. I feel like the dynamic of it moving, having music and little videos, and I even record my own voice as well, saying the affirmations or saying what my goal is in that area of my life. It's just so powerful. Now you're supposed to watch it before bed so that it is the last thing in your subconscious before you go to sleep, and your brain can start working on ways to make that happen. And then in the morning, first thing, when you wake up, same thing, watch the video because it sets you on the right path for the entire day. It embeds it in your future memory. It's like you're remembering what your future is going to be like. You're remembering something that hasn't happened yet, but by doing so, it's so real. And it becomes this thing where you think, yeah, obviously that's going to happen. You really do think that. That's my life. That's my future life. Then you will start to see opportunities that bring you there. You'll start to stack habits that create the road to get there. I also have a video about putting in your goals into your internal GPS so that you can get there. And that's through daily habits. When you can see yourself successful in a mind movie, in any area of your life, you will start to do those little things, the daily things that help to get you to that life. You'll also attract in opportunities because you believe in it. And so if you believe in yourself, other people are going to believe in you too. Other opportunities are going to believe in you. You are going to find favor and an abundance around every corner. You know, when you meet someone, like if you're dating and they're confident, they know what they deserve. They know that they're a good catch. There is something extremely attractive about that. That is natural. People in even grade school, little kids, are attracted to the confident person. The person that doesn't care what other people say. It doesn't shake their identity. It happens in high school. It happens all throughout life, and that never changes. If you believe in who you are, if you believe in that future, that you're a catch, that you have something to offer, that this is your dream and you're going to get there, people believe in you and opportunities believe in you, and they will just start being attracted to you. That is a law. That is a universal law of attraction. God put that into place. And God showed us ways in the Bible to make that happen. Write it down on tablets. Ask for what you want. Ask and you shall receive. By prayer and petition, present your requests to God. Faith comes by hearing. Jesus asking, what do you want me to do for you? Tell me what you want. Jesus says, your faith has healed you. All of those things tell us that this is the way that it works. But we think that it's been hijacked by New Age and that that's not how it works. That's still how it works, though. It's just that if you are a Christian or you do believe in God, you are allowing God to guide you in those dreams. You're allowing God to give you extra favor. You're letting God release those blessings upon you in a way where He can see the future. He can see that those decisions are right. And so it's much easier that way. But that doesn't mean that if you don't believe in God, that this isn't still a law. It is. It's a universal law that God put into place on this earth, whether you believe in God or not. It's just better with God guiding you. So here's an example of a couple minutes of my mind movie. I'm not going to talk through it. The little clips are not actually how it's set up. I have a whole 20-minute mind movie, but I just want to show you little clips of it so you have an idea of what a mind movie actually is. So here we go. And fruits that give me energy, make me feel alive, clear-minded, and excited about life. talent of singing. I love knowing that her radiant life in all its different forms is changing women's lives and encouraging them through my learned wisdom. Movies, concerts, and more, experiences that we all cherish forever and have so much fun. My husband and I give the most beautiful gifts, and it gives me a thrill to see people so happy. I trust him. He works all things together for those that love him, and I do. Okay, there you go. That's the Mind movie. Now, out of the three, which do I suggest the most? It depends on your life and your lifestyle and which one you're actually going to listen to or watch every single day. If you have time at night where you love to look at books or you love the tangible and you read at night or things like that, do a goal book. That will really help to embed it in your mind. If you are someone who's always on the go, you don't have time to sit and look at a book or a mind movie, then do the audio, because that is really easy to listen to while you are exercising, doing home things, etc. But if you really want to immerse yourself and you want to take the time to do that, create a mind movie. I do think it's the most powerful, but all three of them work. And if you want to do all three of them, I mean, you are gonna believe in your dream life after that. And you could just create all three of them, and then whatever your life allows that day, use that one. So I still have my audio. I still listen to it sometimes when I'm cleaning or going for a walk, but I do prefer my mind movie at night and in the morning. My goal book, I let it sit in my living room. I glance over, and every once in a while I open it and just page through it. So having all of them is best, but if you can only do one, it is a huge step in the right direction. So again, I'm going to link the tutorial to how to create a mind movie at the end, and I'm going to end with go out, be a blessing, and rise into your radiance. Oh, you have so much to look forward to. You have so much ahead of you. Don't let the daily downs of life, the daily struggles and frustrations stop you from believing in your dreams. Do not let it. You have so much to live for and so much to look forward to. And so do I. And let's rise into our radiant lives together. Much love. Thank you for being here.